I feel like a lot of players struggle to have a different approach on their lanes as support. They have one set playstyle they use for basically every lane, and in Dota, sometimes you need to adapt. Today I will help you change that, so you can win more games. I will show you different examples of approaches you can have on your lanes. I feel like there are three main types of them: aggression, efficiency, and timing. As for aggression, I think it's self-explanatory. You want to kill people or at least force them back. Efficiency is mainly about playing for farm, so making sure there's less trading of HP on heroes and more farming. And timing? Perhaps you would like to do one thing or another, but due to the nature of the lane or the heroes you have, you need to wait for a timing. In this case, it could be ultimate on your offlaner, but also nighttime for your Night Stalker, Ogre or PA level 2, or drums on your offlane Enigma. Lots of completely different things, but it's just giving you an idea. The first game I will show you is my Witch Doctor position 4 game, where I play against PL and Ringmaster and my position 3 is Venge. First of all, looking at the heroes, I think we've got pretty good advantage early. Double range against melee PL, they cannot really pressure us. I have Maledict that deals a lot of damage, and due to the crazy start, I have earned already. While this item obviously helps me decide the approach, the most important thing is there's basically zero threat early on from enemies to kill us, at least level 1 or 2. The only way to do that is if I lose traits. Because of this, I really would like to not get poked non-stop by Ringmaster, so I want to hard commit and combo my Maledict with Venge Stun, as it will deal over 300 damage to whatever target I hit. As soon as I see PL, I want to cast spells on him. If Ringmaster isn't there yet, that means he will need to TP and help the PL, so I will be able to control the pull camps. I think if he was there from the start, it would be better to use spells on Ringmaster, as he wouldn't be able to control the pull camps side then. But the main idea of this game was to play aggressive on the bot lane as much as we can, as early on PL and Ringmaster cannot really pressure us. That means every time we combo our spells, they need to run away, and if the lane is passive, having farm on PL benefits them way more than farm on Venge. Think about it, some heroes are in the lane and just want to get away from it with as much farm as possible, for one reason or another. PL or Spectre are good examples. Their spells don't really offer them that much early, so they would rather farm up their items. On the other hand, there are heroes, or carries in that case, that would love to get kills in between their last hits, as their spells make it very easy and convenient to get kills. Keep in mind that most of the carries that do that are based on a snowball. If they don't get kills, they will suffer a lot. Ursa is a great example of this. He wants to get his Battle Fury, but early on the lane, he's able to pressure enemies a lot due to the Fury swipes. His ultimate isn't a big spike, like in Spectre's case, where suddenly you can get a kill from across the map. Ursa, however, is more about constant aggression. If the carry is based on a snowball, sometimes not feeding him is something that might be just enough. As another example, I will use my replay of Witch Doctor 4, but this time it's against Ursa and Task Lane, and my lane partner is Night Stalker. In this case, I feel like me playing aggressive could mean we lose the lane hard, as Ursa could snowball a lot. For the start, comparing Night Stalker and Ursa stats, I can see that we will be able to get all the last hits and denies if we just focus on that. Night Stalker has amazing starting stats, combined with his E, but then, he doesn't offer much in terms of killing people. Not only that, but Ursa with a task are heavy commit lane, so they want to jump a target and kill him 100 to 0. And how to counter that? Well, in this case, I feel like playing for efficiency and poke is a way better than straight up trying to kill them. My offlaner doesn't offer me much in terms of harassment, and if I use my spells without getting a lot of impact with them, I would just get jumped by both enemies and killed, as I cannot be helped by NS. You could say, this is nighttime, you're supposed to be aggressive with Night Stalker. Well, possibly, but against lanes that can snowball very hard, I would say it's counterproductive. Looking at the state of the lane, 2 minutes in, my Night Stalker has 4 denies already, Pull Camp is blocked, and he has the wave under the tower. There's nothing else he should value more than just getting free CS. Eventually, when we get strong enough, we might just kill Ursa, but until then, as long as we're getting farm on 3 and Ursa is not getting a lot of farm and no kills, the lane is fine. As you can see, this approach has worked. At 5 minutes, Night Stalker has pretty much double CS of Ursa and he will get a kill. In terms of what Ursa needs to accomplish in the lane to have a good game, this is as good as it gets. To sum this up, there are lanes that you should play for aggression and trade a lot, and there are lanes that you should play for efficiency and farm. In terms of how to find out which one you should be playing, think of what will happen when you fight. Are you stronger than enemies or are you weaker? If you got 20 more damage on right click than the enemy, the right choice is to probably play for efficiency early, as denying a lot of creeps and getting all the CS will mean in 2 or 3 minutes you got a way better chance of being so strong that enemies cannot do anything about you. If enemies, however, want to play for safe farm as they have no spells to deal with you or just get you killed, usually the choice should be to mainly focus on early aggression so you can kick them out of the lane, or at least force them to buy way more regen than they would like to. To pick the right approach, you need to consider every hero on your lane and think what fits them the most. If you're playing a carry like Medusa, you're way more likely to play for kills with a hero like a Tuskar than with Abaddon. However, if you're that Abaddon but your carry is Weaver, again, you might be just playing for kills. Think about what benefits you the most. Do you win the trades in the lane or do you lose them? If you win, great, you can eventually go for kills. However, if you're losing them, perhaps not trading and just pulling defensive aggro and camps might be the best choice. There's one more type of an efficiency lane that I want to talk about. Sometimes you have heroes that cannot really put up pressure and if the lane is played normally, they lose out on farm. In this case, I suggest waiting for a certain timing and get the best out of the lane. In this case, I'm playing Pagna position 4 and my lane partner is Shaker. We're against Enchantress and Lifestealer, so a lane that is very stable to a point that harassing them doesn't make much sense, even if I'm playing a very strong laning support like Pagna. However, we have a timing that we want to play for, Blink Dagger on Shaker. This game is quite obvious when it comes to realizing what the timing is, but sometimes it will be the ultimate on your offlaner, so even then, stacking on Triangle might be a good idea. It will give your core some solo XP while you will have stacks to farm together with them. Instead of laning there post 3 minutes, as up until this time I was able to control the small camp, I decided to start stacking for my Shaker. That way, he will have a good start as I provided him with that with my laning presence, but then he will also have big stacks to get his blink ASAP. Notice how while I'm stacking for him, I ping the lane that I'm leaving, so he knows he needs to be extra careful. And even though he's losing farm at this point, he will get it back with an echo on creeps. And it's not like my presence changes much in terms of his farm anyway, as Ench with a Sendar creep is very strong. If we had a different lane against us and we could pressure enemy position one more, I would do that over stacking, as Shaker with free farm will get his blink anyway. But in this case, I feel like that move was more impactful. I gave you 3 examples of how you can think about your lane and it's up to you to decide how you want to approach them. This video is there to show you that not every time you will get to play in a way that you want, be that offensive or defensive. Maybe you want to play on the front foot, but that will cost you a lot in terms of lane. If you start feeding against heroes like Dazzle, Batrider, Ursa or Marcy, there might be no coming back from that, and perhaps then you would rather start passively and play for farm. If you're laning against weak early heroes, however, even if your hero isn't great at that, you might just want to put up pressure so they don't get away with their picks. And if you want to always have the right ideas, subscribe to the channel. Keep in mind I also offer private coaching. That's it for today. Let me know in the comments if the video explains the concept well. See you